Oh gosh, yeah, dude, I was like such in a rush. I even, oh, never mind.
I like your names.
Okay.
It's good.
I never even paid attention. Like, how do other podcasts like do transitions? I never really paid attention.
Oh,
to
they do it properly.
Oh, okay. You wanna do transitions today?
They do things like, and talking of Thoughtseize, here's Reanimator.
Ah, that's so boring though.
I know.
It's probably one of our strengths though. Still,
They're so
perfect.
funny. Like,
yeah, because they're so bad. Yeah.
You know, in 2014, when I was at the GP in New Jersey, there were a couple of Americans who asked like Philip and Mark Koenig and me to write our signature phrases on their cards. And I don't know what they asked Philip and Mark to do. And when it was my turn, I was like, honestly, I have no idea what my signature phrase is. And I was like trying to come up with something that I thought like I said a lot, which was cool. And the guy was, oh, that's fine. You just say okay a lot. I'm like, okay,
wow,
like,
you're
fuck,
boring.
you got me.
I've got Kai's. Yo, dude, it's your boy Kai Sawatari.
That's totally me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally me.
Can I get a hell
Good
yeah,
love.
motherfucker?
Can I get a goddamn hell yeah, motherfucker? Yeah.
Can I get a goddamn hell yeah, motherfucker? Okay, there goes our age rating or something. Actually, I've set it to like whatever the highest is, like restricted. R is for restricted or something, right?
Because we talk about the restricted list.
No, because we appear like in United States or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, right? Like you can't say ass.
Yeah, we were talking about doing Latin in 7th grade, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, but if you do Latin in 7th grade, you can pick either French or chemistry. And honestly, they probably like changed it ever since I was in school. But there was like a weird multiple choice system back when I was in school.
We do talk about some really bad things on this podcast,
I
like
thought
D&T, Jeskai Control, like
all the good stuff. I thought we came here to talk legacy now.
Oh, we actually, speaking of that, no. Hello and welcome everybody to Everyday Channel number 149, your favorite, most deceptively named bi-weekly legacy podcast. If you want to support the running of the show directly, and today, you can support us actually on any day on patreon.com/everydaychannel. Never mind, guys, let's go back to Latin. What's your favorite Latin poem?
I don't know.
Cachol,
I'll be
Carmen
honest.
Fresca, 85. Okay, let's go on.
Oh, let me Google quickly.
You know, this is actually like super live. Like Kai, you literally just came back into your apartment like 5 minutes ago or something, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, I even misspelled my own name, which is almost impossible because it's only 3 letters. But
I thought it was 2 letters.
Oh, for the listeners, like every time we meet up for recording, we have to type in our name.
I don't, because I made an account on that website.
Wow.
Damn it. God damn
You know,
it.
Julian with the accounts.
After like 200 episodes or something, it's, you know, it actually levels out the time I had to put into making an account. Whereas here,
Fine.
Yeah.
So if you're not a platinum member, whatever status thingy, you have to type in your name every single time, and I typed in.
yeah. So whatever that is.
Yuck.
Yuck.
What? That was it's like Kai backwards.
It's
I
really
was trying
yucky.
to. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
like-
I thought it was like you know, you gotta be careful. There's like I read that there's like some Ku Klux Klan stuff that's
Oh,
almost
shit,
like
is it?
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, luckily you're called Kai.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank
that
you.
works.
Anyway.
Here we go, Kai. Where have you been actually?
So I had an amazing weekend in at one of the biggest modern and legacy tournaments in Germany, which is called BOTTROP Series. I've never been to that place. I've never been to that tournament, and frankly, I also didn't know many people who attended that event. Right, some of them also went like go to, I don't know, like Four Seasons or some major events like on a regular basis, but essentially, I don't know, 80% of the players are like locals, you know, they live in like Cologne and
People you've never seen before, right?
yeah, I've never been in that area. So
It's so funny, right? Because when I talked to the European Legacy Masters. Yeah, dude, I'm so bad at remembering that. ELM, everybody says ELM. They had a lot of questions about like how the community in Germany works, and I was like, you know, Germany might as well be like 4 different countries when it comes to legacy. Like we have no idea what's going on like north of Nuremberg.
Oh,
basically.
totally. Yeah, totally. It's like it's all like split up. I can't even say what the biggest community is, because the one in Freising is also incredible. Berlin is kind of mediocre given that it's the capital, but there's also like nothing around Berlin, so I can.
It's so weird, right? All the big cities in Germany, they don't really have like a big legacy.
Yeah,
scene.
like Frankfurt, Hamburg, they're like okay, but you know, like those smaller like smaller, medium-sized cities, they really got those players. Like, because I think like driving a car for like an hour or two is just not a big deal for most Germans. In fact, if you have the Autobahn, that's actually a lot of fun driving. So like I wouldn't really count that as a downside. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Didn't you go to your last tournament by train or something?
I did because I don't obey the rules. Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy
okay.
Kai.
Okay. We keep going back to Kai getting kicked out of Japan. Okay,
Yeah, dude. I'm the real rebel.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was this gigantic event. It was 149 players.
Wow.
But yeah, it was all split up between Legacy, Modern, and Pioneer. I think there was like a teeny tiny Pioneer group also. They've all played at the same time, and I think they all played 6 rounds, which sounds a little weird to me.
It's like 2 people who
especially
played each other like 6 times in Pioneer.
Round robin, but it's 5 people.
Oh god.
Cut to top 1.
Right. And I didn't play any of those events because for the very first time in my career, whatever you want to call it, I had my own booth, my Savatarix booth. So essentially, it was like a vendor's booth or artist booth where you get like 1 or 2 tables, and I had like this gigantic like tablecloth and some roll-ups and things to display like my tokens and stickers and playmats and things like that for sale. But in addition, since I'm also a passionate MTG player, I wanted to do some sort of like magic action right at my booth, and then we got the idea of having like a direct challenge thing with a buzzer, which you can.
Here comes a new challenger!
Yeah, dude, here comes a fucking new challenger.
Just so everyone knows, Julian gives us no heads up that this stuff is happening.
Yeah, dude. But,
No,
like,
honestly, like I actually have that on my soundboard.
So yeah, so I had this little buzzer which you had to smash, and once you smash it, and we got a deal, and we play a best of 1. The challenger picks either a modern or a legacy deck, and I also have multiple decks in both formats. That was a lie.
Which decks do you bring?
I only had 1 deck in Modern. I had Blue-Red Murktide in Modern, and I had 2 Legacy decks, and one of them was Cephalic Breakfast, and the other one was Elves. And I let the challenger pick one of the 2 back deck boxes. I mean, obviously, like the one was like black, and the other one was brown. So
I was going to say, was it green and blue? No.
Dude. and like most people say, okay, I'm not gonna pick the black deck box because that's probably Doomsday. In fact,
Nice.
that was the Elves deck box. Anyway, yeah. So I think 12 or 13 people challenged me throughout the whole day.
Well, that's great.
And and if you win, you get a custom token, and where I write down I killed Savatarix on the backside, and people can keep that.
I need one of
these.
these.
Dude,
It shouldn't be hard to get one, right?
No, but you gotta beat me first.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
come on. You gotta make it a little bit
that's
harder
probably
than
like the
that.
easy part,
It's getting to your booth is the harder part.
right?
Sorry.
Dude,
carry on.
shut up.
Are those challenges like free, or do you have to pay? Or how does it work?
Yeah, they are 10 euros each. That's a best of 1. So I was a little nervous about maybe like people showing up with like ridiculous combo decks, maybe. Right? Or, like,
Okay, let's grind Kai tonight.
And I gotta say though, I won all legacy games, but I lost a bunch of modern matches, mainly Blue-Red Murktide versus the 5-color creativity deck. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but
Yeah.
it's a crazy strong combo, and it plays like all the hate versus Murktide. There's a bunch of removal.
Strong
Wrenn 6. Yeah, it's not.
I played it, but when I was preparing for our last, or I think the very first 4-season team appearance, and I liked it a lot, but I kept losing to Blood Moon. I guess it's a 5-color deck, but yeah.
Right.
It's like a 5-color mono red deck that needs its red lands to function under Blood Moon still as well. It's
Pretty
a weird
much,
one.
dude. And that deck, like I know we've talked about Fable the Mirror Breaker so much on this podcast already,
I like
and how
that card,
good it
yeah.
is. But damn, that if there is the perfect Fable deck, it's probably the creativity deck, because the token you can destroy for creativity. The looting is crazy good because you draw like useless Archon of cruelties, and the C mode is also incredible because the Goblin can then start copying the Archon of cruelty.
Because you have to reanimate a theme in there as well, right? So
Dude,
that's
I
why
was
you want to
watching,
discard the Archon.
I was watching Mengu stream a couple of days ago, and he was playing against like Pox or something, and the opponent had like few ensnaring bridges in play, and like Shrieking Affliction, like he was kind of locked out, but he then had an Archon plus Kiki Jiki, and he was draw stepping, making a copy of the Archon to discard him down until he died.
I bet he was really happy about that.
Yeah, yeah, sick.
Anyway, yeah. So I lost a bunch against that deck, and everyone who beat me in the direct challenge also got their name written on on a whiteboard, which I called the Hall of Fame. I know not many people can make it to the Hall of Fame. In fact, I will probably never be in the Hall of Fame. So I thought, it'd be kind of cool if I give people the chance to be on the.
Don't tell me you carried that whiteboard all the way from Berlin.
Oh, okay, I did. Of course, I did. Yeah.
By the way, for those who don't know, BOTTROP is basically on the other side of Germany.
Right, yes.
Across.
Dedication to the whole.
But dudes, I'm telling you, like I'm so proud of like having all this booth equipment, my 3 decks, my clothes, and all that in just 2 medium-sized like
Bags.
Yeah, like basically
That's impressive.
because I was thinking for international events such as the Four Seasons event or the Impact Returns and maybe a few more, I need to get everything in like hand luggage carriers, right? So
I mean, you don't have to. Like, if you really want to bring your full equipment, I would have some carry-on, I would guess.
Yeah, but then it's no challenge. I really
okay.
I wanted to challenge myself basically to like.
So then, if you make it, you can put yourself in the Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame of packing.
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you're gonna become a travel YouTuber? Okay, guys, this is my new nomadic travel pack. Check it out here. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I can put myself in the luggage. Okay.
By the way, did people win tokens as well?
Yes, they did, and people had such a good time. Like
Nice.
for the first time, I felt like I did something really, really like valuable, not only for myself because I had a lot of fun through it the whole day, but also for a lot of players because like when you go to a tournament and let's say you play 6 rounds in Legacy or Modern or any other format, you only have 6 new people you interact with, right? And then usually between rounds you hang out with your boys, just shit talk each other's deck and stuff like that. But you really don't get to know a lot of new people. But if you have a booth, you have so much more reach and you have so many more people who do interesting things, or you just talk to them. And like I had this guy who went like 0-3 drop in Modern, and then he came to my booth, played versus me, and I don't even know if he won or lost, but he had like the best moment of the whole day. Like seriously, like people had such a good time interacting, with me. Sometimes you just sit down and had a coffee, just chat a bit.
I love that. People had such a good time interacting with me. But no, seriously.
That sounds kind of wrong. That sounds kind of wrong. We should probably scratch. Can we scratch that? Anyway.
I get it though. It's really exciting. Like it's not really been done before.
Also, we had some nice background music because I really wanted to have it, like make it like an entertainment thing.
Did?
So I brought my music box and my music box, my Bluetooth box, and we had some Post Malone, in the background. And
give it a couple more years, you're gonna have a live band playing behind you.
Oh, and some background dancers.
My band can play behind you.
That'd be sick, dude. That'd be sick.
It might be a bit noisy.
Yeah.
But...
No, it's okay. But then all the challengers, please, only mono black decks, please. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Only Dark Rituals.
You give them like the choice between 2 black deck boxes. They're like, oh, okay.
Mirror.
One has Doomsday, the other one has Doomsday.
God damn it. But yeah, that was the first time for the Salvatorix booth.
So you're going to do it at the future events as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy exhausted, but I'm so happy. Already made like thousands of notes on my way back on how I can prove things.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, like the buzzer was not loud enough because I totally forgot that the that 150 players they make quite a lot of noise, I
was actually wondering about that when you did the video, but at that point I was like, nothing to really do about that.
Yeah. So, like a few small things I gotta improve, but damn, I played a lot of Modern and Legacy on the day, and I also got to alter things, and it was the best thing ever. Like, a part of me is like,
let's move to BOTTROP.
Yeah,
let's do this all the time.
Do I really want to play any sanctioned event from now on?
But that's the best kind of feeling.
Wow.
Seriously, like if you get that kind of feeling, then you did something that was like you say valuable, but I guess it's just like
right.
An amazing thing.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, it's like half a job. I mean, obviously I'm gonna play some events because I'm a freaking addict. But I will probably split it. Like I will. Damn, it was so fat. It was so cool. It was
like at Four
really
Seasons,
cool.
maybe do like the teams and then the Legacy on Sunday, but you could do the booth like half of Friday and all of Saturday or something.
Yeah, something like dude, I can't skip team events. That's why we go into that event. Like the team event is insanely fun.
think Kai...
You're allowed to play Legacy at the next one as well.
Also,
gonna say,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, I can't. Like, I will skip the next few ones, but I will not skip the next one. The next one is just too important. Watch me play some.
I think I want Vintage for the next one. Oh yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to play Modern.
God damn it, Callum. Yeah, we probably should stop talking about Modern in his Callum and his Modern choice.
Especially since like Callum has completely destroyed Legacy lately, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to me. So I've had some fun painting recently. Maybe the avid listeners will have noticed like my tone the last couple of months was I kind of stopped playing online. I was on a bit of a downer because like Chaos Defiler's not online, and I was like, it's kind of futile to play, and I was busy with other things. And then last Saturday I had the day free, so I was like, yeah, screw it, let's play the challenge. And had a really good run there. I got to the finals without dropping a match, and I lost to friend Testacular in the finals. He was on Moonstompy. Both sides, this is a super skill-intensive matchup where whoever draws more Furies wins. And I drew less, and I didn't mulligan to Furies, so he deservedly won. And then I didn't play again till LLM yesterday.
To stop you there. You didn't play Chaos Defiler, but you played a 9-mana artifact. Like, we cannot pass by 9-mana artifacts and not mention them.
So
there's like the cutoff. Like, it's 7 or 8 mana, you cannot not mention it.
Yeah, I mean... So shoutouts to Uber and a few others from the Painter Discord. Like, I play lots of different things in Painter, and I have my own ideas, but the Discord is like, they have so many ideas, and I wasn't really trying Portal to Phyrexia. I played it a little bit, and like it has its moments, but I was kind of off it. And then Uber especially, but a few others were having good results with it recently. So I was like, you know what, I'll try it. And it actually was really insane, this challenge. I think it won 3 games where like, I say no other card would have done it, like Defiler would have, but you know, it's not online, so yeah,
it's like
cool.
9 mana, and when it comes into play, the opponent has to sacrifice like 3 creatures or something.
Yeah, 9 mana, ETB, opponent sacrifices 3 creatures, then at the beginning of your upkeep, you return a creature from any graveyard to play. So
that's good.
Yeah, like I did it against 8cast, Delver, and I can't remember the last one. Definitely got someone else.
Sneak Show or something.
Oh yeah, like against Sneak and Show. They cast Sneak and Show. It resolved. They put in Griselbrand. I put in Portal, and I got Griselbrand. Yes.
Oh, that's perfect.
You know what the dumbest thing is? I drew it like the first turn of like my first turn, and I was like, oh, of course I draw this. What a bad draw, without thinking what it actually meant. It's like, but then before we cast the show and tell, I was like, oh, actually, this is really good.
Oh,
so.
that's something.
Yeah.
Let me put this into play.
It was a fairly normal list otherwise.
When you're playing 2 cards, I noticed, is that because there's a lot of like, I mean 8cast, but also crazy stuff like, what's his name? Crazy
stuff thing?
No, well, that also, but the German guy.
Killer Bee.
Yeah, exactly, Killer Bee.
It's not especially for him, but basically he helps against control. Not that you're like that bad against control, but he turns off staff, which is pretty relevant. As you said, like 8cast is super strong and popular everywhere. Mystic Forge has been doing well recently, so it's mostly there for just the Null Rod effect. And obviously, you don't really want to play Null Rod in Painter. You can, because you can weld it out, but he's there for that. So I have like super minimal support in the sideboard. I played a Liquid Metal Coating, a Pithing Needle, a Grindstone, and a Tormod's Crypt.
You got coating most of the time anyway.
Yeah, I would actually cut the Grindstone as well. In paper, I play a sideboard Defiler, which I'm not sure on. But like honestly, I just think you want Coating, Needle, Tormod's Crypt, and I sideboard in the Needle in like tons of matchups anyway. So he doesn't really need any sideboard support. He's just a
he's just like a Null Rod that has some extra value.
He's just a Null Rod, and then like people do exile your graveyard, so you can -2 to like get painters that were hit with a Source of Plowshares, and you can Tormod's Crypt or Soul Guide like with ETB yourself to get things back and stuff. So that came up where I Tormod's Crypt myself to get something.
I guess the cutest interaction would be you can animate your Soul Guide Lantern and then copy it with Fable of the Mirror Breaker to get the trigger again.
That is super cute.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah. I think the cutest play I got to make on that challenge was like using Liquid Metal Coating, targeting my mountain to grow constructs mid-combat to win the combat.
Oh, a lot of people would not see that.
Yeah.
What a play.
That was fun.
Damn.
I also got to Liquid Metal Coating, target a Mystic Forge, and then Fury it. That was fun. It was Khan Plus on it. It's already an artifact. Khan Plus on it, and then I Furied it. That's it. Anyway.
Oh, that's so mean.
It was fun though. Other difference, I played 2 Mind Break Trap because there's a lot of Mystic Forge and stuff online and just combo and stuff. So I think Mind Break Trap is really good online. I didn't play it in paper. recently.
I noticed you played Shieldred's Addict in paper.
Yes, so really cool challenge. I didn't touch Magic Online much since then. And then yesterday we had an LLM. It was absolutely roasting in England, 28 degrees, which is like 80 Fahrenheit.
I'm not even sure if
heathens.
you're allowed to be outside at that.
Yeah. But 31 brave people, including myself, decided to stay inside and not touch grass and enjoy the sun. So not bad numbers. And I managed to play Painter to the win. That was fun.
Hey,
Heck yeah.
So 2 matches lost across
Crusher.
the events. So Painter's just like, it's still singing for me. The deck just feels great. Like, you still have close games and very interesting ones. You do need to play tight with it as ever. But I don't know, when it's like just not doing when it's doing its thing, it just feels like it's very hard to beat sometimes. So the differences between paper is, as I said, I played the Black Splash, so I had a Nile Spellbomb and a Chaos Defiler main deck, and in the sideboard there was another Chaos Defiler. The idea is you can Karn for it in the super grindy fair matchups, and then side it in against Source Plowshares matchups, but Defiler didn't come up a ton yesterday, actually. The MVPs were, surprise, Fable and Goblin Engineer. It was just very, very normal stuff, honestly. I played 2 Opposition Agents and 2 Shieldred's Edicts in the sideboard. They didn't come up at all. I Opposition Agent 1 fetch land, and I never cast Shieldred's Edict. So
what's the thinking behind Edict? Because I'm curious whether I want to put those into my sideboard as well.
It kills Merit Lage, which Merit Lage is not super popular at the moment. It's just nice that it catches that, but it kills like Gurmagangler and Tarmogoyf is the main ones, because Shadows moves away from Murktide a bit, not all of them, some, and Rugdelve was playing Tarmogoyf, and those creatures are real problems for Painter. Like,
yeah, we can't bolt those, right?
5 toughness is a huge breakpoint for the deck because you can't Fury it. So yeah, it's just like some flexible removal, and you can obviously kill Planeswalkers. I didn't even bring it in against like a Jeskai Planeswalker heavy deck, but it's just kind of, it's a solid card. I'll be honest, the Painted sideboard, after 4 Fairy, then 3 or 4 Magus, and a Pithy Needle, I don't really know what to put.
But that's a good problem to have, honestly.
It is a good problem. So, like, the agents, as I said, didn't really do much either. They're good against Saga of Mirrors, in theory, and obviously they're very good against Doomsday, but I don't think you need the help there, especially. There are other combo decks as well, but I don't know. Yeah, so after those kind of pieces I said, like, you can kind of pick and mix a bit.
There's new stuff coming in, by the way. Should we quickly go over the card everybody has been talking about over the last couple of weeks?
Because I'm going to play this in Painter, so we can touch on that like after we talk about the card.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's a really new card. I want to say one of the most exciting cards of recent times. And
For
that's
now.
For now, okay. That's Orcish Bowmasters. Creature, Orc Archer, a colorless and a black, 1/1, flash. When Orcish Bowmaster enters the battlefield, and whenever an opponent draws a card, except for the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, Orcish Bowmaster deals 1 damage to any target. Then amass Orcs 1, which basically means like you create a 1/1 Orc token, right?
Yeah. So amass means like if you don't have an Orc token, you create a 1/1 Orc token. Every time you amass 1 more, it becomes a 2/2, then a 3/3.
Wait.
Right.
So the second token is a 2/2?
No.
No.
You never have 2 tokens. That's the thing. Like, if you
so
have an
becomes
oak token,
bigger.
it just grows, right? We had amass before, I think.
It was
doing,
in War of the
Wolf
Spark.
the Spark. Yeah, with zombies. I think like zombie was the zombie army. I think
Exactly.
was like the default thing. Now it's orcs, but essentially it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So this card, it's kind of unassuming when you see it, like a 2-mana 1/1 flash, and then the effects are like kind of not that powerful. But as a culmination, I think this card is so insanely pushed. Like, usually I'm pretty reserved. I'm like, let's see how things play out. Like, I'm not gonna spill the boat about things, but I think this one is a bit too much. This is the first card since Ragavan where I'm like, oh no, I don't really like this. I'm a bit worried. We'll see how it plays out, of course. But my thinking is it's going to push out any X1s in the format. Itself is an X1, so like the best thing to kill a Bowmaster is another Bowmaster.
Oh my god, is this like the mental misstep era all over again now?
Kind of, and like I think it's just going to push out X1s, and
Like
yeah, it's super punishing to anything like that. It's actually got to shout out Tubo. He wrote an amazing article on the European Legacy Masters website. I think yesterday. So go on to EuropeanLegacyMasters.com, and he wrote a article on it called Metagame Movements in Legacy June 2023.
I wanted to read that one, but I didn't really have time.
Yeah, he honestly sums it up better than like sums up my thoughts better than I could. So it's for me it's a really good summation, but we'll try and do that here.
Yeah.
But essentially the card punishes any decks that play X1s or trying to draw extra cards, which is a huge swath of the
That's
format.
basically 3/4 of the format at this point.
Right.
There's
Like,
only
you
combo
know,
decks left.
when we're thinking of cards like Baleful Strix or like Fairy Mastermind, which is pretty new already, the whole Cephalic Breakfast combo, because they're all X1s, and they also play Brainstorm Ponder.
Sorrow
Like
Shepherd.
and those decks are pretty much in danger. But even
I think so, yeah.
but even like the non-blue decks, like I can totally see Orcish Bowmaster just like sniping off Goblin Velda maybe in response to.
I'm already
like,
thinking of cutting Welder.
Yeah, when Fable happens, for example.
Yeah,
things like
If
that.
you are thinking of cutting Welder, then this card has it's gonna have a much bigger impact than
Yeah,
I
'cause
actually expected it to.
Welder going means Defiler going as well. It's big. I mean, we'll see. This could be all hearsay.
But the thing is, to interrupt you, that
Yeah.
if they go first and you go like turn 1 Welder on the draw, and then they have this is just like
It's a
oh my
3-for-1.
God.
They have a 1/1. They have the Bowmasters that you have to deal with still. They've killed your card, and they have a 1/1 which is going to grow if it triggers again. And you have to kill the Bowmasters because it's going to like trigger more. Like and pain.
Yeah, I would call it like a 2.5 for 1 or something. Like
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I
That's
could
fair,
underestimate how important the actual token is gonna be.
I mean, just think of it in response to a brainstorm, and this is not like Christmas Land. This is super standard stuff, because I think the most common times to play brainstorm, I would say, is turn 2 for blue decks, because they play their land turn 1, they see what the matchup is, then they pass, then they like brainstorm turn 2 to find either a cantrip or a removal spell, whatever, because they want to brainstorm main phase to find the right second land drop and play their fetch and go. So if you're on the play with an Orcish Bowmasters, you play in response to brainstorm, you've got the Bowmasters that they still need to answer, a 4/4, and you've pinged for 4 damage.
Right.
Yeah, the ping is actually insane because the ping also goes to the face.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
totally
And
missed
it
the first
splits,
time I read?
like, yeah.
Yeah, it splits. That's another big thing. True.
Yeah.
What I didn't actually notice the first time is it already triggers when it comes into play. It doesn't
Yes.
need to see anything else from the opponent's side.
I
It
would say
already
if
creates value.
If it didn't ETB ping, I think it would be almost unplayable. It's
Yeah.
the fact that it just does a very good thing already, and then punishes a lot of parts of the format.
This actually, as you mentioned, this makes Baleful Strix look embarrassing.
Yeah, I think it kicks Baleful Strix out of the format. D&D like gets kicked hard.
Yeah.
It's incredibly good against Teferi. It's one of the very few cards because they play Teferi, you flash it in, and then they down tick on either the token or the Orcish whatever's.
Wait. Oh, because the token already gets created right away. Dude! I just talked about it, I still forgot it.
Yeah. So, and yeah, it's going to kill Teferi regardless, unless they have like
Right.
it's more than turn 3 and they have removal.
But
spell as
actually,
well.
like if they minus the fairy on this, then do you get the trigger?
You draw a card as part of the resolution of the thing, and it's
But
returned.
you do it in order. Like first you
In
put it
order.
into your hand, then you draw a card. I don't think you get the ping.
I don't think so. But then Teferi's at 1, and you have a 1/1 token.
Yeah.
So
true.
in a vacuum, it does finish it up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, like here's like another thing. Like imagine if your opponent casts like Glimpse of Nature, and
Get
in
out of here,
response
get
to
out of
go
here,
Orcish
dude.
Bowmaster, you're gonna like just
Combo elves, no.
dude, you
just no.
sniper every single elf gets sniped right away.
Yeah. And there's a lot of decks which just like the pinging is obviously going to push out the X1s, but then a ton of things like I don't think putting this in response to like Show and Tell or Reanimator or Grizzlebrand is like they can't activate Grizzlebrand. Like,
Oh, that's
because it kills
so big.
Grizzlebrand. Or yeah, or like they pay 7 life and they take 8 damage if you flash it in response.
Right. And you have a
So
creature which is bigger than Grizzlebrand.
So that's 15 damage, and you have an 8/8.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's actually hilarious. Imagine if you have 2 of those.
Yeah, well then they're dead because they took 28 damage.
Yeah, but I mean that's going to happen over the course of the game at some point.
It
might.
totally could. It totally could. And then like even if the pinging is bad, like if you have a creature, if you have like against a deck that goes pretty tall, maybe Initiative or like Gurmag or Tarmogoyf, like it's still 2 bodies, which is not too bad. And like you block with the Amassed Orc Army, and then if they draw like play another cantrip, you get another token to like. It's just a ton of stuff which has to be answered on a 2-mana card with flash. Like
So are we getting that card right away on Magic Online, or do we have to wait for it again?
Yes.
I have no idea.
It's the Lord of the Rings set is coming the week after pre-releases. So pre-releases this coming weekend. So we're gonna get it online like 24th, 25th, I believe.
So are you saying I should like buy this card?
Yes,
you
I
totally
already pre-ordered them in paper.
How much were they when you bought
I
them?
paid for £18 each, and I paid it.
Each?
Yeah, they're now €35 on MKM.
Are you fucking kidding me? I thought it was just going to be like a 5 or 6 euro card.
It might go
dude.
down. It might go down, but this thing is nuts in CDH, and it's legal in Modern as well. It's not as good in Modern because there's not as many like things that draw raw cards. There's no Ponder or Brainstorm.
But you're right. It starts at basically €35.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think there's a very good chance it goes down. I'm just a squirrel with a small brain and like to play with new toys as soon as possible. So,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, like we only highlight like the good parts about this card, right?
Yeah.
But there are obviously also like situations where this card is just pretty embarrassing, or generally like there are also a lot of decks that don't really care about Orcish Bowmasters.
Yeah.
Like, I would say like number one is probably like any deck that doesn't play creatures, or like any control deck, for example. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like another threat they have to.
It's just like a 2-mana 2/2 flash ETB ping
Sort of.
something a lot of the time.
You say any control deck, but I mean, we just like pointed out how it does something against Teferi. It's also like decent against Narset.
Yeah, I think this is super good against control, but I think the lands-based decks are where it's not as good. So lands itself, Cloud Post, Depths is completely ignores it.
Let me so.
Yeah.
Maybe like the part about what I like about Orcish Bowmasters is that it's a card that is pretty powerful, but it doesn't go straight into Delver, I think, because it is more like it's more like an answer-ish card, you know, like something like a, I don't know, like
I mean,
sharpshooter.
I don't know, like Crix's Delver or something. I mean, it's not really aggressive enough for Delver, I guess.
So to address like the most obvious thing, I think this card just goes straight into Shadow, and Shadow is like secretly but not secretly one of the top 3 decks in the format, in my opinion. So I think this card really pushes Shadow.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like, it's still a lot of decks that play cantrips, or like, you know, they use card draw in some form, which is a lot of the format. They still need to answer it, and so like discard just becomes so much better, and it's in black already. So like Thoughtseize, Grief, Reanimate Shells, I think we'll see that as well. Just strip them of their swords and then play the Bowmasters, and then like just punish them for playing the cantrips to find more removal, stuff like that.
So are you excited for this card, or are you scared? You sounded kind of scared.
I'm scared. I think it's gonna be format warping and push out lots of like X1s. I think it's gonna have the Wrenn and 6 effect. It's gonna push out X1s apart from itself, I guess. And yeah, like on first glance, I looked at the card. I was like, this cute little orcs is pretty cool. And now I'm scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just scared that it's so expensive already. You know, I just love the artwork. That's why
I do too. Yeah. I mean, I guess just quickly to wrap up, like my thoughts. I'm gonna start by playing 3 in Painter, and it has 0 synergy. Yeah, 0 synergy with the rest of the deck. It's just a good stuff card, which Fury is as well. So Painter's like the strength of the Fable Painter builds is because you play like such a good fair mid-range plan that like you expend your opponent's resources and then you can combo them. But yeah, I'm just jamming 3 or 4 of these straight in the main deck.
Did you say this has synergies with the rest of the deck, or
no synergies at all?
There's no synergy. Okay,
No.
okay, yeah. I was wondering whether it was
No.
Okay.
0 synergy with the rest of the deck, but I just think it's kind of too good. And everyone, picture that meme where it's like their barbarous thingy, our blessed whatever. So this is my blessed Bowmasters and your barbarous Bowmasters.
Oh, that
pinged.
meme?
Yeah.
Where like the 2 armies meet in the valley.
Yeah, exactly. My Bowmasters are blessed and they're going to shoot your Bowmasters down.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if there's anything out there that nobody has ever played that abuses this to a degree where that's like a symmetrical draw, but now all of a sudden on the other hand, like you only get a ping out of it. Okay, no, never mind. That's probably nothing.
I mean, people are going to play this with like Echo LED as well, I'm sure.
You could also like, can't you just play Plague Engineer on Orc?
Yes, so
you might have to.
I think a few of the like best ways to combat it that comes to mind with me is Francis FGC had the idea to play Depths. It just completely ignores it and doesn't really care. And Mono Black, like mid-range Stompy with Orcs themselves, but 4 main deck Plague Engineer to name Orc, and it's obviously not symmetrical. That's another way. And the third way is I think Blood Moon is just super good, not especially against the card, but it's going to come in loads of Underground Sea-based decks, and so Blood Moon is just pretty good against them. They have Hydroblast. Like a lot of the Shadow decks don't play a basic island for Hydroblast and stuff, so we could see Blood Moon have a good effect against this.
Is there a world where you consider switching to Blood Moon again and paint on the sideboard over Magus?
Absolutely. I already said I'm actually going to consider like a Stompy version with Blood Moon's main deck again as well. Just it really depends how the card shakes out. Like if it goes in Shadow, which is just like the classic 3 Watergrave, 2 Underground Sea, no basics, then I'm probably going to play like a third Sea of Traders, more Simian Spirit Guides and Blood Moon's main deck. It's one way to go. Yeah, it depends what decks it goes in and like how they prepare for people to like get used to this card being in the format. I also could be completely overhyping it, of course. Like I've been wrong about many things. We'll see. But yeah, this is the card that scared me the most since Ragavan.
You know, I just realized it doesn't have reach. It like they have bows in their hands.
Yeah.
How does this not have reach? I mean, they shoot the.
Do you think that these guys could shoot down a Marit Lage?
Like Grizzly Brand? Yeah, a Marit Lage probably not.
Yeah. No.
That's. I mean, they could shoot 20 arrows, so it wouldn't really do anything. okay.
Cool,
I'm excited. I was like mildly excited for it, but now I'm actually scared.
We'll see. I don't mean to be fear mongering. I'm just
Okay.
scared of some scary orcs.
Yeah. And if you're totally wrong, then we're gonna have a good soundbite for a future episode.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for.
I think you actually said at some point like, "Oh, this is earth shaking. This is gonna revolutionize this format or something."
Did I say it before? Gone. I'm pretty wrong about loads of things.
Yeah, I might be wrong about this one because I'm not at the next one because I'm not sure if this actually does something. But a friend of mine sent me this card and he was like, "You know what? This could actually work." And it's called I'm not even sure, guys. Fourth Eorlingas.
Have you never watched Lord of the Rings?
I did. I have no idea who Eorlingas is.
No, it's fourth Eorlingas. No?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Is it a horse?
Yeah. I'm not sure who Eorlingas is, but I think that sounds right.
Okay, there's a guy riding a horse in the artwork, so I guess that's his horse.
I'm gonna rewatch the movie right after this.
I'm pretty sure the horse is not in the movie. I mean, it might be, but among like thousands of other horses. When
it's got gasoline in the name, so it must be good.
Yeah, it's pure gas. It's a gasoline horse.
What does the card do, Julian?
So it's a sorcery, costs X, a red and a white. Create X 2/2 red human knight creature tokens with trample and haste. And whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to one or more players this turn, you become the monarch. So the first thought is not what you think it is. This is not about making the knights and attacking. This is literally about paying 2 mana to become the monarch.
No, that was the first thing I thought.
I mean, that was the first thing I thought as well, and that's why it didn't really fully convince me.
Got it.
And so the idea for this was you play a creature on the first turn, ideally something that, I don't know, can't get blocked or what have you, or maybe a diver that flips. And
Prickly
you're
bugger.
like, I don't know, I'm going to trust you.
Shout out to the bug boys there. It's
yeah.
like a 1/1 with fear for 1.
Then you cast this on the second turn, and you just pick X as 0, so you don't get any tokens, but when your creature connects, you become the monarch. Obviously, this gets super blown out if your creature somehow doesn't connect, so that mode probably is not going to work unless the opponent, goes turn 1 Ponder, pass or something. And I'm also not sure which creature you would even play on the first turn in a deck like this, because I don't know where it goes into. But
Noble Hierarch, maybe? Because it's like unassuming that they'll tap out against that.
My friend was like, this should go into like red-white Stompy, initiative Stompy, where you get something crazy down in the first turn, and the second turn you, on top of that, become the monarch for 2 mana. And then like later on in the game, and that's actually why he thinks it's playable. You can also like sometimes just like pay 4 mana, right? It's pretty easy in those Stompy decks. You create those 2 tokens, they have trample and haste, you have a good chance of becoming the monarch at that point. And yeah, the one thing I didn't really think about, which didn't really convince me, I think he told me this is also one of the few cards in the format that says pay 12 mana, deal 20 damage. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
No, you get me.
Yeah.
But give me your honest thoughts about this.
It's not bad. I like it pretty much because you can also pitch it to both Fury and Solitude, and both cards are pretty good at keeping the monarchy, probably, right? Like if you have like a secondary or a third copy of this card in your hand, and you already are the monarch, then you can simply pitch it to one of those elementals, and just advance the board a little more. Yeah, like I think any playable Boros cards just pushes initiative a little further.
It might be the only deck that can really like play this card in the first place, right? Because when I first saw it, I was like, I don't think this is any place in the format, but Boros initiative.
Yeah, I think you have to be a little careful because red and white is not easy with soul lands all that often.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're gonna need like a lot of Chromox and stuff.
Right, yeah, like you need like all the Chromox and Lotus Petals and things like that. But
You
generally
also
speaking,
play
I think
Cavern as well. It's like, yeah, the man is hard.
Yeah,
Kevin is horrible with this, I guess.
right. But I do definitely see the upside, and like Monarch is just crazy strong. Like it's not as strong as the initiative, but it's also up there.
I'm not even sure. Like, I can't really make that comparison. Like, would I rather gain the initiative or become the Monarch?
I think it depends on your deck composition.
Yeah.
Both you want to protect, but I'll say I don't think the card is very good, but I was lower on it until Kai pointed out that it pitches to like both elementals, which is pretty legit. That's actually a really good upside to it, because it's actually hard to get that balance in the deck. You really want like a good multicolored card like that. It's interesting that like that deck wouldn't play any 1-drops. I think the play pattern of like play a 1-drop, then you play this turn 2, it'll happen, but it's so unreliable that I don't think you can play the card thinking or expecting that play.
Yeah, the problem is you're definitely not going to play 4 copies of this, right? You're probably going to play like 2 copies.
Two, I think as well. Yeah, and like making lots of 2/2s with trample and haste is honestly not bad, especially in a deck like Initiative where you have this extra mana with the soul lands and Chromoxes lying around and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, this could be pretty insane in the mirror, I guess, if you get to like turn 5, 6 and like both players neutralize each other, and then like this basically wins the game.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was ready to like shit talk this card, but I've been swayed a little bit. I do think you might have to kind of switch things up a little bit, like as you said, Cavern, the mana's gonna be super tough because you're already playing all the 8 soul lands, I guess. And the thing is, I guess with more of these Chromox, you can pitch like 1 to it and then it taps for both colors is pretty nice. In paper, I think in paper these decks could play Comet as well. Maybe it's just bar Stumpy, like not even especially Initiative, but you'd play those cards too. Anyway, yeah, I would say like give this a try. 2 of it probably doesn't quite get there, but it's definitely interesting. Especially when you play both the elementals, as you say, because they're great at protecting you from the Monarch getting taken.
I'm just like scrolling through the chat with my friend right now because he mentioned that card, and I literally don't see it anywhere in the chat, and I have no idea how I came across this card now.
It was in our Discord, wasn't it?
Oh, he linked to it. That's why it's over there.
Okay.
Okay. Red White Initiative, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, let's see how that one turns out. That's certainly not going to be as influential as Orcish Bowmasters.
No.
Yeah, we will see.
I mean, we'll end up Bowmasters as a flop, and 4th Eorlingas is actually like the meta-defining card. And then we'll have our soundbite to make fun of me down the line.
By the way, speaking of soundbites, our last episode was the 100. I keep saying 110-year anniversary. It's the oldest time itself. We were created before Magic. We actually, I'm so sorry, we had 2 callers whom I didn't actually play on the last show. So here we go. Let's have the first one.
Hey all, Jack here, better known as Franco Bully. Congratulations on 10 years of podcasting. You guys do excellent work. Keep it up.
Yeah, we will do.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
And here's the second caller.
Hi, Julian. Hi, Kai. Hi. Damn, I forgot the name of the last one. Never mind. I'm Jax from Italy. Amazing podcast. Amazing guys. Keep it going. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I think he's talking about your recent guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That must be it, right?
Love you, Jax. Nice one.
Dude, Chex is amazing. I will never forget when Chex picked me up from the train station. That's just like the coolest. Honestly, I don't know what it is about that, but I walked out of the train station, then all of a sudden a car pulled up. Like you guys, I think you were in there, Callum. Like you just opened the door. I felt like the ultimate VIP. I walked out of the train.
We're going somewhere.
We're going somewhere. No time to explain. Seriously.
Dude, it's so funny to me because like Jax was like after he recorded this, he was probably like, yeah, that's probably good enough, you know. Like I don't need a retake on this, you know. It's probably okay. I will submit this, you know. It's like,
perfect. I mean, it's perfect.
Amazing.
Oh, dude, that's what I thought when I submitted those filthy water graves. Seriously, so, yeah, that's probably good enough. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I mean,
so. I will see you play Shadow in the future in Modern at some point, or actually Legacy.
Shadow with Bowmasters, get them now.
Since we're in Italy already, shoutouts to Italy checks. We had 4 seasons earlier this month. You guys remember? It's been a couple of weeks by now. There's so many Legacy tournaments coming up.
I had so much FOMO just like seeing all the pictures and the videos of people posting. Like been to 2-4 seasons now, and like I thought I'm going to take a break for this one, and then going to be going in September for ELMs and everything. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to be happy to skip this one. But like the week leading up to it, I was looking at flights and stuff. I was like,
Oh, you were?
I had plans on the Saturday and Sunday, so I had to like have cheap flights be available and be able to cancel my plans. It didn't work out, but like, yeah, I don't want to miss them again. It's just the best thing.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited for the Impact Returns that Kai and I are gonna go to.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I think you mentioned right the one that also has the ELM finals is gonna be. Is it in September?
September.
Yeah. First, I think it's the
weekend.
first week. Yeah.
First week of September.
ELM's on the 2nd, so like teams on the 1st, ELM 2nd, Big Legacy on the 3rd. And I think the turnout for that one's going to be mental because like they really ramped up the coverage this time. So they had Will from the Wheel Hall Experience doing coverage.
He was so good, seriously.
I think his name is Andrea, who's Pygonti as well, doing it as well. Insane modern player, like, and the numbers watching the stream was pretty high and stuff. And I was watching it whenever I got a second. So yeah, it's growing. It's gonna be awesome. September. So yeah,
they had 430. They had 432 players for Modern and 312 players for Legacy.
Nice.
Once again, one of the biggest Legacy events in recent years ever on the planet. Should we look into the results?
Yes, absolutely. Do you want to read them up?
So yeah, you guys want to go? So basically the way it works at Four Seasons is you play for top 8 and everybody in top 8 gets the same prize. So it's basically auto split and then the first person after this is considered the winner.
And after 9 or 10 rounds, most people are pretty happy with that, I'll be honest. Like,
yeah.
When we first went, I was the impression I was like, no, I'll make them play it out, blah blah. But like, this is just how it's done. And if you go with the expectations that you'll no split, it's not going to happen. It's a long day. You play a lot of Magic. People are happy with this.
And you want to have the good food.
And then you finish, and then everyone just has pizza and beer. Like it's rather than playing top 8 when you're tired, you get pizza and beer.
You know what I
and
like?
You get loads of money.
Like I was kind of grumpy last time on one evening when we didn't have like food right away, but overall, like you can have food anywhere. Like you can have your food ordered to the hotel. People order food to the site. There's this amazing restaurant we went to like twice by now. So this is just like the culinary capital of Legacy.
Yeah, you can go anywhere. Speaking of culinary capital of Legacy, what was in the top 8?
Yeah. So we had on first place. This is like really good news for me as a combo player. It was Luca Fasoli on Buck.
Yes,
Doomsday. Luca, congratulations. I also just had a little peek on your deck. It's really interesting because Buck Doomsday is not very common, and like you guys might be wondering what's a green for. And it's usually for Carpet of Flowers, like a sideboard card, which is technically like a Super Soul Ring versus Delva. It's not bad. I tried it myself a few times, but I lose so often whenever my Tropical gets Wastelanded. So like that's why I didn't like it as much. But I can definitely see like the reasons to play it. Another cool tech Luca played was a one-off Waterlodge Grove, I think it's called. It's like a Horizon Canopy in blue-green, and so you can tap it for either color and pings you for 1. But more importantly, you can pay 1, tap and sack it, and then you draw a card. And that's a draw effect that doesn't count as a spell, which makes it really interesting, I think, in combination with like other Edge of Autumns and into like Cavern of Souls and Thassa's Oracle, things like that. It's really interesting.
Okay. So you can create like additional Doomsday scenarios.
So
basically,
dude, you can basically beat a million Pyroblasts by just cracking that land into Edge of Autumns and into Cavern of Souls Oracle.
There's probably also like scenarios where you play around Mindbreak Trap and stuff. I mean, you already could do that, but I mean, yeah,
it's
additional tools.
Pretty sick tech.
For the Magic Onliners, Luca is Fuzz65. He's probably beaten loads of us.
Yeah,
I think he's also on Twitter, right? On the same name.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He also has, I think, 3 copies altogether of. Where is it? Edge of Autumn? No, not Edge of Autumn. Veil of Summer. He's got 1 in the main deck and 2 in the sideboard. How common is that these days in Doomsday? When you play Bug?
Not very common. I'm usually really scared to play Veil of Summer in Doomsday because I accidentally deck myself and like things like that. But I can see how Luca played it, given that the Dimir Shadow deck is quite popular. At least like the good players in Italy. Some of them play Dimir Shadow and. It could be like a hedge against that deck. But I have like 2 problems with Veil of Summer. Like first of all, I can kill myself because I deck myself. The second is that a card doesn't disrupt any opponent, right? Like if your opponent goes Show and Tell, like imagine if Veil of Summer was a Spell Pierce, I could Spell Pierce it, or I can counter any spell. But Veil of Summer is a purely defensive card. which I don't always like, because Legacy has a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I would rather disrupt my opponent than protect my combo.
Yeah, that's true. It only ever it only ever works like as the second spell, right? Even if you have like Force of Will to stop their show and tell, and then they Force of Will back, and then you go for Weight of Summer, then it kind of works. But it's never gonna be a thing on its own.
Right.
It does other things, like obviously, but like he on the Friday, I think it was, he played the Italian Invitational as well, and he played against Mengu on stream, and he like veiled a Fatal Push on or a Drown in the Luck on a shield ridden stuff. Like I think against the bug scam deck, he maybe was thinking that'd be popular. It's pretty strong there, stopping griefs as well and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Like the bug scam deck, like I saw that on camera like twice. I think it was not only Andrea Mengucci but also True Hero.
Yeah.
Marco Vassallo playing that deck, and that was really cool to watch, because like I think every one of us has like a kind of like a sweet spot for any fair bug deck, I think. At this point, like tropicals and bayous and things like that.
Yeah,
so
everyone
it's really
does,
cool
you're
watching
right.
it.
It's just like traditionally such a big part of the format in any kind of like form, right? Whether it's like an aggressive deck or a control deck, it's just like good when it's around.
Yeah. I have this weird relationship with mid-range bug decks because I've played so much of it in my Legacy past, like especially Shardless, but like tons of even worse mid-range bug decks, and I've always thought they're bad, and I've always understood they're bad, and I'm not super high on this one. I think this is way better than usual bug decks, but like I'll love a bug mid-range deck, and I'll die with 6 cards in my hand, god damn it, but I'll have fun with it. So it's a cool deck. I think the scam aspect of it gives the deck a ton of like tempo power, which it otherwise lacks, like thus that joke. So I think it's pretty well like built out idea.
Which deck are we talking about right now?
Bug scam.
Bug scam.
Okay, that wasn't in the top 8, but the bug scam deck that's around right now.
We saw it a lot on camera.
Yeah, true.
So for everyone, just please check out the VODs on the Four Seasons channel. I hope the VODs are still there, but it was really, really cool to watch. Should we go on with the other decks?
Yeah,
sure.
So on second place, we have Andrea Sari on Boros Initiative, a deck we just talked about a little earlier.
Yeah.
And followed up by Emanuele Capellini on Blue Red Delver. And I think that is also the only Delver deck in the top 8, which I'm kind of happy to see. I think like the whole top 8 is pretty diverse. So
it's insanely diverse, right?
The last 2 years we've seen like 4 Delvers in every top 8 or something like that. So yeah, it's nice to see.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like on fourth place, we have Preslav Krastev on Mono Black Saga Storm. That deck also kicked ass, like left and right. Like throughout the whole day on camera, like it looked so good. Like when people had the hate versus the combo part, they just Preslav just simply made giant constructs, and the game was over.
I got my ass handed to me by that deck on Magic Online, like I want to say like a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't realize that this by now was kind of like an already established deck. I thought like there was some random I'm gonna say shit somebody played, but I already could tell like when I played against them, I got destroyed. But I was like, okay, this is actually better than random shit. And now I see it in the top 8 here, and I would maybe I even played against Preslav. I don't know what's this.
No, this is a Tony Scapone thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, he's like just the combo king these days. Like he brews so much, it's insane, and so many of them are good. This is one of the most successful ones he's done. And I just really quick tangent. He has the best like. Just one liner he does whenever he's about to kill someone turn 1, he goes, "It's Scapone time." I fucking love it so much.
Oh, dude, Legacy these days is insanely flavorful.
Yeah.
Dude, Callum, you need a catchphrase when you mill somebody out.
I'll cover someone.
It's harvest time, didn't you have like?
It's harvest time. Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
got it.
It's even in my Twitter bio. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Sorry.
On fifth place we have another mono black deck, but this time it's not Saga Storm. It's purely a scam deck, mono black, piloted by Leif Stolman. Sorry if I butchered your name a little bit, but this is just pure scam stuff, really. Just like no fancy combos, I think, as far as I saw it. Just like a lot of good black cards. Crazy
Voidwalker, Grief, Opposition Agent, Shield Red, Turret, Dread, Kenta on the main deck.
It's just mono black mid range. Like it does have 4 Reanimate and 4 Grief, so it's like kind of scammy. It's got the Doughty Voidwalkers as well, but like the mana base is just like 11 swamps, 4 wastelands, some utility lands.
Caracas.
Like Castle
okay, Caracas I guess is there because you get to play Shield Red and you can like reuse Turret.
But like it's just a mid-range deck. It's pretty amazing to see this, honestly. Like we've often seen these decks play Khan and Leyline main deck and Helm, But I like this direction, and I think this deck is one of the best positioned to play Bowmasters up the main deck Plague Engineers to 3 or 4. And I think this deck is legit. Like,
I think even just mana base wise, this should be one of the cheaper decks in Legacy to build, right?
Yeah. This has 4 Wastelands. They're not even that common because like you have the Doughty Void Workers, you want double black a lot. You want turn 1 black so you can like Dark Ritual, Opposition Agent out as well and stuff. But yeah, this is a really, really good like cheap deck to get into Legacy, and it's very powerful. Really cool.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Amazing
So
deck.
on sixth place we have probably my favorite of the whole top 8, because I don't know what it is, but I like ever since I saw Tony Murata playing 12 posts, like mono green 12 posts, I've always had also kind of a sweet spot for that, even though I really don't know, because like a lot of the stuff 12 post does is not very appealing to most players, because the deck doesn't really cost a lot of spells.
And also it has a little bit of like a solitaire vibe when you play it, I feel.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, you really don't do much most of the time. Like, until turn, I don't know, 4+ when you, like, accidentally resolve a Primeval Titan or a Green Sun ZF X6, I believe, and then you win shortly after. But yeah, this is Pascal Richter from Switzerland, and we saw him, I think, twice also on the feature match, losing to the Black Storm deck, but he won against the Bug Scam deck we talked about earlier. And like the mono green Cloud Post deck is essentially, dude, it's like Elvish Reclaimer, Crop Rods, with a bunch of forests and like the Cloud Post lands, potentially a Dark Depths finish. But yeah,
I don't know.
Like,
too. Yeah,
this deck is. Whenever I play it on Magic Online, I always go 0-5 or 1-4, or maybe, and then I see Pascal Richter going like 7-0 or like 8 or whatever in the Swiss, and it's like
I will say I think this is one of the hardest decks to play in the format. Like, I'm scared of playing it. It's the hardest deck I think to sequence, because you from turn 1, 2, and 3 you need to like play all your land drops in perfect order, and you can lose the game on turn 5 or 6 because you played the wrong land turn 2. It's so utterly punishing to just mis-sequencing your land drops. So yeah, I find this deck it's crazy hard to play. So you need a ton of practice, I think.
You know, guys, I think we should really invite Tony Murata in the show like one day.
Isn't he on the Preordained podcast?
Not, God damn it! He's probably on the Once Upon a Time podcast.
Well,
actually, that's probably a better podcast.
That one stopped, didn't it? Because it was Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah, okay,
I
see.
It's only like the first episode, maybe.
So they keep replaying the first episodes, and everybody like, oh, Once Upon a Time 5.
But yeah. Well, yeah, like we have like almost half of the top 8 is like mono-colored decks, which is it's kind of funny actually.
I like that.
On seventh place we have Jeskai Days Undoing, like pretty classic, I want to say. You know, bunch of Planeswalkers on the 3-drop slot, a single Days Undoing, and then white removal, counter magic, and cantrips.
Yeah, notably like 2 Spell Pierce is kind of Spell Pierce is making a bit of a comeback. We'll talk about it in a second on the next deck list.
Right.
As well.
Yeah, and to round it up, we have Mark Vogt from Germany on a 4-color control deck with
of course Mark top 8 as well.
Like
by the way.
all
seriously, yeah. Can we like quickly stop and like mention on what an insane like run Mark has been?
It's almost bad because it doesn't like impress me anymore. It's like, oh yeah, of course you top 8'd because you're so good.
Yeah, like the week before, he randomly won like the Czech pre-modern championship or something.
Yeah.
Like he's wherever he goes, whatever he touches, just like top 8 win easy.
Mm.
And also, like, he's one of the few players to actually play this, right? Kai, tell us about it. Like,
this is not a standard 4-color control deck. This has a lot of counter magic in it and doesn't really play a lot of removal. So it has 2 copies of Archmage's Charm and a single copy of Thwart, which has been his signature card, I believe. Because
he calls it the engine of the deck, which is like quite the statement, and he's not even joking when he says that.
Yeah, because you can pick up those Mystic Sanctuaries, right?
Of which you play like 2 copies, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And 3 copies of Spell Pierce, which is also another statement. 4 of Minsk and Boo, which might sound a little crazy given how hard it is to cast sometimes, and also like it's a legendary Planeswalker. I mean, I guess
the idea is it's just like it's just Chase, right?
I think
what Chase used to be.
Yeah, I think you just want to have it like every single time, and like drawing the second one doesn't really punish you, maybe.
And it goes in like he just forces your things, or like plays him like removal, counterspell, whatever, like first couple of turns, and then plays Minsk and forces your play, and then that's where the tempo swing is just massive, and it's hard for any deck to come back from this control-based deck to pulling ahead like that.
Yeah.
It's also the crazy engine of Staff and Minsk. Like, Minsk creates a new
true.
token every upkeep.
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean, you probably want to. Like, I'll take the extra card over the 4/4 hamster.
Well, no,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
you say yes and then just keep the one that was in play before.
Oh, yeah, because you legend rule the
Yeah.
new one out.
So it just always triggers every upkeep. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Unlimited value.
Doesn't it also like trigger at the end of turn or something?
No, it's only an upkeep. It should be.
No,
only an upkeep.
wait. The second triggers when it comes to play. Yeah, sure. I was like, it triggers. It has like two different.
Maybe it
conditions,
just
but-
triggers every phase. Who knows?
But I think like overall, I want to say like this is a pretty stacked top 8. I like all
Yeah.
the decks and everything. The only thing that kind of surprises me is that Marco Montani is not in the top 8.
I know.
Who has been in the top 8 for as long as the event exists. I think.
He got to the finals of the Italian Invitational, and until that finals, he had not lost a game in 2.5 4 seasons. A match, sorry, in 2.5. Well, two full weekend for 4 seasons, and then that Invitational. I think
He's
he maybe
basically
lost
like
one.
the Rafael Nadal at Roland Garros of
Yeah.
4 seasons.
Well, no, he didn't top 8 now, so he's dead to me. Terrible player. Walk it up.
Let's get this
I'm
guy out of
joking, I'm
here. What a
joking.
scrap.
Yeah. So
Wow. To once again very quickly go back to Mark's deck. This is blowing me away because we are seeing so little. Like, I don't really see anyone playing this online, right? Have you seen any top 8 lists that like
no,
basically play this?
the thing is, he does insane at all these tournaments, paper tournaments. He's just like stopped playing online, and then online is cyclical. Like, people just copy online a lot of the time. Like, people will now probably pick up Luca's deck a bit and Mark's as well, like a bit, but to get online people playing. So, for example, we've forgotten to talk about the Showcase Challenge episode so far. The Showcase Challenge was
Oh,
yesterday.
dude, that happened as well.
Yeah, the Showcase Challenge was yesterday, and 3 like Urian Zenith decks top 8'd. And that was off the back of Stefan Schultz winning the Super PTQ or something the week before. And so because it's online and like winning a big event online, people are going to gravitate to just like the top online things they see.
But as
because,
well online.
yeah, it's kind of an online thing where paper, like there's just not that many big paper events like this, like 4 seasons and stuff. So they'll see like deck lists from 50-person events and probably just think it's worth less than a 300-person PTQ online.
Oh, okay.
Not that it's quote unquote worth less, but like, you know,
Yeah.
the more players, the harder it is to win, for example, just to be simple.
I'm actually looking at the decklist right now because I totally missed that. So you're saying like Stefan won the Super PTQ the week prior?
I believe so. Don't quote me on this. He won something, and I'm lost in the names of
And
Magic.
that was Legacy.
Yeah. Or maybe he just top 8'd.
Because here's a Legacy Super Qualifier on June 2nd.
Yeah.
And Mental Misstep won that. And
There we go. I got it.
Yeah,
Nice.
you're right. Actually, I'm just gonna put a note in the show notes to link that.
Cool.
Stefan wins Super PTQ link. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dude, that's just like way too many results to go.
Yeah.
I'm just like taking a quick look at this.
The Showcase qualifier thing yesterday was like 250 something players.
285.
285. God, that's huge. And 3 Urians in decks in the top 8. 2 show and tells. This is going off memory, so I could be wrong. 2 show and tells.
I'm looking at it right now.
A Jeskai control. Yeah.
There's a reanimator deck with what's it called? Resuve Drifter.
Oh yeah, that's
That's the
pretty
new
spicy.
thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What
There's
else is
another
there?
reanimator deck with 4 copies of his. Oh no, it's not. Actually, what is this? Oh, this is Sneak Show with 4 copies of Resuve Drifter.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. So what does Vesuvian Drifter do?
I have to make it bigger. I know it does like some.
I'll
copies,
start
like-
while you go. It's a 2 in the blue, so 3 mana total. It's a 2/4.
Yeah.
Flying. Yeah.
Does it fly? And then at the beginning of combat, it triggers, and you look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature spell, it becomes a copy of that until end of turn.
Actually, you can look at the top of your library at any point.
You can look at the top library at any point, and then at the beginning of combat, it becomes a copy of a creature. Is it?
Of each combat, even.
Okay, cool. Sorry, dear listeners, I don't have it in front of me, and Julian does.
And also, it also maintains flying.
Okay, so a flying Grizzly.
So basically, yeah, I played against this a couple of weeks ago. I didn't realize that this was actually like apparently good. But yeah, it's around. I mean, the 2/4 probably helps it. Like, it's super hard to kill. And I'm not
Yeah.
sure you want to like throw a red blast at. Like when I played against it,
Yeah.
like gambled, I was like, we're like low on cards. You don't have like cantrips. I'm just like gonna gamble and
That's a fair point. Like I was about to say, oh, it's 3 mana, dice to blast, like, and everyone still plays blast. But I remember when people played what is called the artisan. The
the artisan that where you discard the card and then
yeah. So when people played that, I remember like not really wanting to blast as well because then the show and tell or the sneak attack with the force backup resolves and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool that top 8. Is it in with the results you got in front of you? Is it in 2 of the sneak and show decks in top 8?
I only see one sneak and show deck, but I still have to look at the 8th deck. Okay. And the 8th deck that's a very planeswalker heavy Jeskai control deck.
Okay, so it's just one then. I must have misread earlier.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. Cool. Anything else in the Showcase Challenge top 8 that sticks out to you?
No, but I want to throw up because I hate those Eorlingas Senate decks.
Yes, you do.
There's like 3 or 4 copies even, like I didn't even properly count.
There's 3 in the top 8.
Yeah, what's the last one? Oh, here's the mono blue elf kid played this.
That's the wheels deck. Yeah. So he was undefeated in the Swiss. Elf kid went 9-0 in the Swiss, and then I think split finals. Yeah, they split the finals.
They did. Yeah. McWinsour's an elf kid.
Yeah, pretty good. Mixed Wind Sources always plays as your in Zenith deck as well. I don't know. We said it like 6 months ago on the podcast. We were like, this deck has legs, is underplayed. And then we've forgotten about it again, and here it is again, rearing its beautiful or ugly head, depending on how you view it. So, yeah, that's good, I guess.
That's basically kind of like your painter list.
There's my boy Lightwalker, Robbie Rares. He is like my favorite painter player in the world. Yeah, shout out to Robbie Rares. I love him. He's got that nickname because he opens a mythic, usually foil, at every single pre-release. Big loves.
Oh, there's another painter right afterwards. Oh, that's the Emery painter. What did we call it? Like mono blue painter?
Very inventive, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, painter cast, I guess.
Yeah, that's just like way too many results to go. Guys, seriously, like knock yourself out if you want to like check out everything that happened. We're trying to distill like the very most important stuff.
How about any other paper events happen?
There was one more big paper event in Germany, and this is like special because this is the first time in 12 years that we had a German Legacy Championship in Germany, or in the first place.
First time we had a tournament in Germany. Nice.
No, we had 100 players in Ulm, organized by, I think they call themselves Zum Waschbären, which means like to the raccoon. Raccoons in, whatever. New tournament organizer, new tournaments. Well, I guess they're gonna have more tournaments in the future. It's not confirmed, but I heard that people were talking about that. Anyway, so German Legacy Championship. I did not go because we were recording our 100th podcast until like deep into the night, and I would have to leave like really early, but I would have loved to go. But yeah, need to chill down a little bit. 100 players. They played 8 rounds, right? That makes sense. And cut to top 8. This results are kinda out yet. We know who won. Alexander Brax with big Jeskai staff humility, what I called it here.
I love that name.
And then we have a complete top 8. So actually, let's go through a top 8 before you look into this list. So top 8 is like his big Jeskai staff humility. Then there's 2 more Blue-Red Delver, a Lance deck, a Blue-White Stoneforge deck, a Food Chain Goblin deck in the hands of Stefan Hosan.
Yes.
And a Fiend Artisan Maverick deck in the hands of Thomas Pfeiffer. And I think that leaves one deck that we still don't know about. So, hey, that's a surprise.
It's probably Painter. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be Painter. So, as I said, the results are not out yet. I've reached out to a couple of people there and one of the organizers to maybe get a picture of the deck list. And we actually have it here. So, guys, what is this Jeskai deck? Because this is basically almost the complete opposite of what we talked about, I think, 2 episodes ago when we had Markus Ewald on the cast.
Yeah.
At least Alexander did his own work and listened to our, I don't know, whichever podcast in the past where we talked about humility to be a legit spell, because we do see a copy in the main deck and I think a second copy in the sideboard.
Yep.
Yeah. He's playing 2 across.
Well done, Alex. Thank you so much for listening.
He bought 100 copies after our spec.
Let's take complete credit for like the German Legacy Championship deck list.
Yeah, well done, Kai.
Dude, this is crazy because there's humility in the main deck and dress downs, I think. Right? Wait.
Are there?
Yeah. Oh no, you see on the first sheet, on the very top. 2 dress downs.
Oh god, this is so confusing. Like, people, seriously, he has like his complete deck list on the front side, And then when you turn it over, it also says 2 dress down, which is also part of the main deck.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is troll level deluxe.
This is like a mix of, so on the second last episode with Marcus, we were talking about how the kind of more 2 distinct versions of Jeskai is like the Planeswalker heavy one, so like 3 or 4 Narsets, 3-ish Teferis, and then it plays like Wandering Emperor and Shark Typhoon and no staff. And then the other version is kind of like Marcus's preferred way of staffs and sagas. Like they're 2 very good shells and they kind of play out fairly similarly, but they're just getting their card advantage different ways. This is just like, fuck it. Rules? I don't care about rules. Just throw it out the window. So he's got 2 Wandering Emperor, 2 Teferi, 2 Narset, and then he's got 4 staffs and a Shark Typhoon as well. And then the Humility and a back to basics because fuck it. And 2 Supreme Verdict. I'm seeing, 4 Prismatic Ending, 4 Swords as well, and 1 Spell Pierce, 6 Forces, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Ponder, and 20 lands. 20 lands seems pretty light to me. I would like to see 22 here, but it worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you gotta be greedy. On the other hand, I guess Staff somewhat helps. Like on your 3rd turn, if you're out of a land, you still get a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also have quite a lot of basics, so you don't get mana screwed all that often.
Yeah, it's true. 3 planes.
This is basically the kind of control deck that, I don't know, this kind of control deck has such a history in Legacy where people just like jam all the good endgame stuff and then try to like, well, I want to call it like outskill the opponent to get to a late game. I mean, it doesn't always work that way, and I guess that's a major reason why people who like why control players are known to be salty or like have a reputation for being salty, I guess. Am I reading too much into it?
I think so. I think so.
You could say that.
By the way, they're not saying Alex is like just like generally speaking.
It's very unlike Julian to read too much into something. It's okay. I was reading someone posted on Reddit earlier one of AJ Saka's old articles, and I was reading it just today at work, and it had humility as well. It's playing like 4 Enlightened Tutor and like ease and top and counterbalance, and it's just like really hard control. And I saw humility there. I was like, you know what, it can make a comeback again. But here it is.
Yeah, 2 copies. It probably still has not spiked. Also didn't really buy any. It's just like feels so weird to me, right? And we talked about this before, but maybe I should just like, if I decide to buy some and I go on Magic on Card Market, that's the day where they will have spiked and I will be like, oh my god, okay, never mind.
The other thing is, I think we had a good point at the time. It was really powerful, but then like Jeskai control is very good now. Like Staff is like lol humility, you idiot. And then they're playing like the Wandering Emperor and Narcissus. So like it's good in the shell, but against mirrors it's pretty bad. And like a lot of other decks are playing Staff, so yeah.
It's basically good against everything except for the control decks or something if you can survive long enough.
Yeah, it just.
I mean that's a big if, I know.
Yeah. I think it's gotten a bit worse though.
No.
Yeah.
So cool.
Speaking of Reddit, you wanted to say something about a post we saw today as well.
Actually, I just wanted to mention that because I noticed that while I was right before we got into the recording studio, which is something we have very much. Yes, we have a recording studio. We fly here every time.
We're very professional.
So, I noticed that, I mean, a lot of you people might know that on Reddit there's like this big blackout strike going on because they increased the rates, like insanely increased the rates for API access. So a lot of communities are actually shutting down. The Legacy subreddit, MTG Legacy on Reddit did not, but he called himself, or they called himself, the lone moderator of that, more or less the lone moderator of that subreddit, and mentioned that it's so much work, and since third-party apps, which usually, at least for Reddit, are much better to handle than the primary one, are gonna be shut down. They will not be able to properly moderate the subreddit anymore, and there's a very real chance that they will completely just like shut down the subreddit. And I just like noticed that because it's, I mean, I don't really use it all that much, but it's still like a big thing for Legacy, right? And there's always been a lot of discussion of whether, you know, things will move to Discord, like even before all of this happened today, or whether things will move back to the source. And I was getting so nostalgic because by far the most upvoted post was about going back to the source, and then there were like a lot more posts of going back to the source. And I know it's not really happening, but I don't know, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, source was pretty. Like sports, like MTG the Source was like the place to be, and I also remember like you had like a playmat of MTG the Source.
I do. There's actually 2 playmats. Yeah.
I want one of those so badly.
Yeah, I guess at this point I can quickly tell the story, right? So in 2008, I believe it was, when I say we, I wasn't involved. Like we as the community or the moderators, rather. made a playmat, and you've probably seen that one, that has like all the, I think, 8 different artworks of iconic legacy cards. And people could buy those, and they were given out at GP. Was it like Columbus? I think it was GP Flash or something around 2008. And Wizard stepped in. Wizard was like, okay, guys, we're not going to sue you, but you cannot do that. This is like not your intellectual property. You cannot sell this playmat, which honestly is fair. Like if you sell it, even if it's at cost, I mean, I get that. But that means that playmat is insanely rare. And I initially didn't have one, but I wanted one. And without going into further detail, I got my hands onto the printing files, the Photoshop files, or was it? Yeah. And that way I was able to print my own version.
Nice. That's cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's also interesting because they actually changed the template. So if you want to see the original printing, at the bottom right, it has Mental Misstep. And mine has, I'm pretty sure it has Hymn to Torosh.
Like minor misstep. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't see that far ahead.
Yeah, there's Oko on there as well.
Yeah, if you turn it around, you can actually see Oko in the background.
And right in the back in the bottom right-hand corner, there's Orcish Bowmasters coming for you.
God, I'll probably hate myself, yeah.
And then like many years later, I want to say something like, I don't know, 8 years later, there was a community-made one, which is basically a battle royale of tons of different legacy cards, and that's actually like made by someone who gave it to the community. And I kind of wrote the art description for that, which is kind of cool. But I don't have that one because I have the kind of OG one, like the fake OG one.
Fake OG, still OG.
Yeah, kind of. It's like 1.5. It's like not the second one. It's not exactly the first one. It's actually one of its kind.
It's like B plus tier.
Yeah. People have actually, like, if you want to buy one of the original ones, it's many years ago, it was already like a couple $100 on the secondary market. But
oh, damn.
I have no idea how much it is right now.
I'll give you less than that.
I'm not going to sell it anyway. So, guys, is that it for us today?
I think so. Nice catch up.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll go through some results. Talk about Painter, because like every other episode is Painter episode. Every time we talk about things like, so what should we talk about this time? We had loads of results to cover, but like for some reason one of us just like does well in a tournament with Painter.
Always Painter.
Every week. Yeah. Well,
everyday painting.
Kai, you need to play
like
Painter, and then next week you can.
No, Kai is like somebody you can buy for 10 euros now.
Dude, you guys, you know that, right? Like it's gonna happen someday. Someday I'm gonna get my hands on.
I'm waiting for it.
I'm not gonna say because otherwise it will happen. But damn.
Can you imagine becoming Paintercast?
Is there a paint deck? Actually, is there any legacy deck that has a dedicated podcast for it?
I'd
Leaving
rather
Legacy
be on,
was like a sneaky
I'd
show
rather
one.
be on a Painter podcast and on a preordained podcast. So yeah, I guess.
Well, me and Julian, as soon as you play Painter, we're like moving to preordained decks.
The Goblin Engineer podcast.
What's the best preordained deck in Legacy?
Sneaky show.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Like the Doomsday list? I thought the Doomsday list we talked about today had preordained.
Doomsday
doesn't play preordained.
Really doesn't play. There's just like no slot left.
He played like Fast 65 or whatever. I think Fast 65, right? Played 3 copies of preordained.
All right, get wrecked, us. What about this curve? Turn 1 preordained, turn 2 4th Eorlingas. Is there like a
great.
but Seamless Spirit Guide to make a 2/2. Got it.
Perfect. Yeah, we figured out the format.
If
you want to support us in figuring out the format, you can support us on patreon.com/everydaychannel, and you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you want to, no, you already are supporting the running of the show. We shouldn't record this late, guys. I'm getting completely confused. Anyway, so if you want to support the following of the podcast, oh god, this is so bad. You know what? Just
You've never had any wine. God damn it.
I didn't even have wine. I just got completely confused. If you want to follow the podcast, you can find us on @EternalMTG on Instagram and Twitter. And big shout outs to everybody who has been supporting us for a long time, especially our Eternal Witness tier supporters. Alex Crow, Tim Everett, Testacular, by the way, congratulations again. Sebastian Holager, Guillaume, Sean Dewey, Francis Kauper, Cassandra Davis, Benedict Gruber, and Severin Schwarzhuber. And our Grizzlebrand tier supporters, Budget, Scott Monroe, Tom Happ, Kane, Ian Seifeld, and Colonoscopy. Thank you so much. And guys, I want to play Preordain now. You can't stop me. See you next time.
You
Bye-bye.
got it. You go for it.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.